everybody, welcome to my channel True Crime and News. In this channel we cover murder stories across different parts of Nigeria and Africa. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We constantly post true crime stories and murder stories. Today we will be covering the story of 8 missing kids of Nsugbe Town in Anambra State. For those who don't know, Nsugbe Town is located in the southeastern part of Anambra State, which is a state in Nigeria. So what really happened to the 8 kids who went missing from this town in the year 2001? It was alleged that in the year 2001, a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria sent his vigilante boys to pick up these kids whose ages were between 9 years and 12 years old, because they were throwing firecrackers. Firecrackers typically referred to as knockout in Nigeria. So because they were throwing firecrackers, it was believed that the firecrackers were disturbing the peace of people who were in the community. So when these boys were picked up, allegedly they were taken to the house of the senator, who is also from the state but represents his state at the Senate House of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Also, just to be clear, the kids were taken without the consent of their parents. So at this point, when they were arrested by the vigilante boys, the parents had no knowledge that these kids had been arrested. Also, it's important for everyone who is listening to understand that it's not in the duty of the senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to order an arrest, because it's outside the duty of a senator. So an arrest has to come from the police and also not from the vigilante as well. So later that day, when the parents of the kids returned home, they were told that their children have been arrested because they were throwing firecrackers in the community, and they had been taken allegedly to the senator's house. So what did the parents do? They did everything a parent would do. They ran straight to the house, trying to gain access to the house to get their kids. But on reaching there, they were unable to gain access to the house. So if you're aware, if you're listening to us and you're listening from outside Nigeria, you would know that people who have status in Nigeria, or you may not know, that people who have status in Nigeria usually live in very big houses with very, very high fences, and people are unable to see the outside of the houses, to see the inside, of the houses from the outside. So when the parents tried to gain access and they were unable to, they ran to the community, they complained. People tried as well to help them in order to be able to get their children back. But this was all to no avail. Later that day as well, the vigilante boys were sent back to the house of one of the parents, because it was allegedly reported that one of the kids who was supposed to be arrested ran away. So they came to the house of the parents and ransacked everywhere, looking for the child who wasn't taken initially. And when they found the child, they also dragged the child to the house where they were holding the other kids who were aged between 9 years to 12 years. Also, when the house was searched the second time, when they came back to search the house the second time, they also accused the children. This was what the vigilante boys reported to the parents, that the children were shooting guns. So they were there to also search for guns, but no guns were found. Nothing was found. So the only thing was, this was a firecracker, the sound of a firecracker, not a gun. So at this point now, the parents are already sad and distraught, begging to have their kids back. So they've gone to the police. The police is not trying to help them. They're not even allowed into the station. They've tried to access the property, the house where their kids are being held, and nobody is letting them in. The gateman is not letting them in. The vigilante is not letting them in. So they ran to the community. The community elders, no one is trying to help them. No one is stepping in to do anything. So the next day they went back to the house, and when they went to the house, they were told that these kids have already been moved to the police station, that there was no record of the kids in the house, and they were shocked. So they went to the police station, and the police station checked the records. The police station said that the kids were not brought to the police station. So now the question is, where are the kids? What happened to those kids? 8 children between 9 years and 12 years. Where are they? At the house of the senator where they were allegedly taken, it was said that they were not there, that they had been taken to the police station. At the police station, it was said that they were not in the police station, that those kids were never brought to the police station. So the parents kept searching, begging for anyone who could assist them to be able to join in the matter, raise a voice to be able to get their children back. But it was all to no avail. And then the interesting thing is, the children weren't found alive, but also there were no bodies of the kids saying maybe they were dead. So later, in 2021, this is 20 years after these kids have been missing, no bodies were found, the kids were not found alive, no details of what happened to the kids, nothing, just silence, and the parents have had to deal with the loss of the kids for 20 years. So it is much harder to deal with having to look for someone for 20 years than knowing exactly that someone is dead and burying the person and grieving the loss. But this is 20 years, and the parents and their family were unable to find the kids, unable to get answers, unable to get a specific location of where the kids are, what happened to them, what was done to the kids. So after 20 years, this is in 2021, in an interview or in a news coverage by the BBC, some of the vigilante who no longer worked with the senator at this time, 20 years later, confessed that the kids were tortured, that they had their hands tied behind their backs, that they were beaten with machetes. Imagine kids between 9 years and 12 years being beaten with machetes with their hands tied behind their backs. So this was the confession of some of the vigilante boys who initially partook allegedly in torturing these kids. So now this is 2023, and still no word of what exactly happened to the kids. Although these vigilante boys who confessed later on, 21 years later, have said that the kids were tortured, they have refused to make comments exactly on what exactly happened afterwards, after they were tortured and beaten with machete. What happened? Did they survive? Did they die? Where exactly did they go? Where exactly are the children? So up until this day, we are still unable, or people in Nigeria and the community of Nsugbe Town are still unable to point out exactly what happened to those children. If you have any comments regarding this case, please feel free to add your comments in the video below. We are looking forward to see what you think about this case. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. If you have any suggestions also of any cases that you want us to cover, please comment below or message us, and we will surely be covering that case. Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. Until next time, goodbye.